To order the Schenectady County Industrial Development Agency Board meeting for January 20th. And I'll ask for a motion and a second on approval of the minutes, and then we can discuss any.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. Any discussions regarding the minutes? Welcome, Sarah May.
Yes, sorry, late.
It's okay, we just started. Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And now the treasurer's report. Jamie, I'm going to defer to you for
Yep.
discussion of the treasurer's report.
Yep, so this is through the end of December 2022. So our internal report, our audit actually starts in the first week of February. But you see it was kind of a banner year for the agency, income of $1,057,000, largely thanks to the Chippy project closing a month and a half ago. You'll see the largest expenses to cover fees to Metroplex, which generates 30% of the income, and our cash on hand is at $1,017,000. So we'll need to find ways to spend that.
People are lining up. Trust me.
Or we'll have a big party.
No, people are lining up with worthy causes.
And you'll see the activity for the year, but great year, well over budget, obviously. So we're doing well. Good place to be.
Good place.
Good way to start the year.
Yeah, motion and a second on the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Any discussion, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have 4 items related to a solar project, Swaggertown LLC in the town of Glenville. Jamie, I think I am going to, we probably should vote individually on these, but perhaps you just want to discuss and lead us through the whole package.
Right, so it is one single developer, 2 solar projects on each side of Swaggertown Road. We did hold the public hearing on January the 12th, last week at the town of Glenville. No comments or written comments have been received. So the one project on the west side of Swaggertown Road is a smaller project, $4.7 million, about 4 megawatts. The pilot is really a good pilot that's been worked out. Normal taxes are about $1,500. In the first year, they'll be paying just under $20,000, and it increases from there. On the other side of Swaggertown Road, it's a larger project, $7.9 million, 6.28 megawatt facility. Again, a very good pilot. The normal tax is about $2,200, starting at $31,425 and going up from there. They're 15-year pilots that are being held. Projects have gotten all their approvals from the town of Glenville. With respect to seeker, we reviewed all the materials. The resolution calls for unlisted action. We also reviewed the environmental review that the town of Glenville did, so we're sort of double covered on that side of it. Developer is very experienced. Project looks good. They're very anxious to close, so they seem like they really want to get going this year, which is great. And the agency from the 2 projects would generate about $100,000.
So we'll take that first resolution.
May I ask?
Oh, yes, no, we can have this, we'll do the discussion piece now, and then we'll just formally vote.
My only concern with some of these solar projects is their solvency. And do we have things in place if, God forbid, if someone needs to decommission these solar projects? I know it's been a big controversy in Rhode Island with one that's not active. I like the idea of a pilot. I'm going to vote yes for these, but again, have these issues that are happening with some of these solar companies been addressed from our standpoint?
I know that the town and other projects involving a solar consortium did raise all those issues and put them in, so.
Because I know we've done a moratorium in Rotterdam just so we can get the law to catch up with the technology. So if you guys are comfortable from your executive end with what's been put in place.
We're looking at these solar projects much more closely to make sure there's community support, popular support, and that they're located in the right spot, that they're not taking out other natural resources. We have some solar projects come in that want to cut down a lot of trees to build solar, when you're trading one natural resource for another. So we're giving it a much closer look. The town went through a very rigid review of this. The project has community support. Nobody showed up at all at the public hearing, which was, advertised. So I know the town has all those safeguards in place for decommissioning and things. So again, where they can be strategically placed, where they can create good tax base. with
Yeah, and
good
that's-
solid developers. In this case, it's a very solid developer.
And in my opinion, that's the town's business. Again, the solvency issue of it, we're supporting an entity that all of a sudden becomes insolvent in a couple of years. I just don't think.
This is a very, I think it's a very valid point, Evan, I'm glad you made it. We look now at the company very closely, at the site, at the neighbors, the community support. We're very, we share some of your concerns, and we're also trying to ramp up the pilot amounts and the year-to-year escalators. So we're being more thorough on those things, so thank you.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Is this company also involved in the maintenance of the property and the equipment after the place is built?
They own and operate.
Any other questions or comments broadly, generally? Then we have some resolutions here to deal with. The first one is Resolution 52423, and this is the seeker no significant effect on the environment resolution. I'd ask for a motion in a second.
I'll move. Second.
Any further discussion on this specific? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Second resolution pertaining to this project is 52523, and this is the final approving resolution and the related actions that the IDA would take. Take a motion in a second on that.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Any discussion or questions specific to this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I vote aye. Resolution 52623 is the other project, because we have two here. And this is the seeker no significant effect on the environment resolution for the second project. A motion in a second.
Motion. Second.
Questions specific to that resolution? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying.
Quick question.
Oh, go
Is there a
ahead.
copy of the report? Typically, we can have a copy.
We do, we have
Yeah.
a full environmental assessment form and three parts of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I have a full copy if you'd like to look at it now. It was just so voluminous, so we didn't copy it
Okay,
for everyone.
but everything is more or less summarized.
Exactly.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's just a standard index for it.
Yeah, they did a good job on all the forms getting completed. It's about 30 pages.
I think I have a motion in a second.
Yep.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The last resolution pertaining to this project is 52723, and this is the approval of the resolution and related actions for the second project. So if I can have a motion in a second for that.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Any questions specific to that? This is the action the idea is taking. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the chair votes aye. So, then we move to another project in the city, near and dear to my heart. This is Resolution 52823. It pertains to the property at 742, 754 State Street, which the members would be more familiar as the former Mohawk Auto site. And this is a designation of a seeker lead agency and related actions. And Jamie, I can ask for a discussion from you on that, and I can actually provide some background as well.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit about the resolution and then get into sort of the broader project. Specifically, what we're trying to do is have the agency act as the lead agency for the environmental review for the project. The county is taking a purchase option on the former Mohawk Honda site in Schenectady for purposes of having a grocery store developed there. And we are also working with the city of Schenectady on applying for Restore New York funding. That application is due next week, and seeker is a big part of that application for getting points and getting an award. So we're trying to expedite the whole process for the environmental review. So effectively, the county is making application to the IDA for purposes of this project. The IDA would act as the lead agency. We would get letters out to the various state agencies that are involved, as well as the local planning board in Schenectady, other local agencies. And then we'll come back next month. I think we've already set the date as the 17th of February to do the environmental review, complete the environmental review on that date. It's a fairly straightforward project. The site's about 3 acres, about a 20,000 square foot store. So we'll do the review, go through the mechanics, and then effectively seeker is then completed for all these different agencies. So it expedites the review at the state level, but also helps the city planning board also review the material when that time comes in the next couple of months. So that's what we're trying to do today, is just get the seeker process started.
Is there a potential tenant or?
That was my question.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let these guys.
Ray's working on it, right?
It's working on it.
You know, the
We
county,
have a backup.
the county, Chris and Gary and Sarah May and the county leads did a smart thing. They got an option, a 3-year option on the small condo site, which is really a pivotal site moving up State Street from downtown. Got a good price on it. The Herndons, who own the site, have owned it since 1918. Have been extremely cooperative. We've been asking, we're deep into the due diligence on the site, asbestos, demolition costs, environmental, phase 1s, all the things you need to do to get shovel ready. As JD said, we're putting in this Restore New York application for round 7. There have been 6 rounds of Restore New York funding. We've won money in all 6 rounds. We're very proud of that. And round 7, our application goes in next Friday. We're busy working on it this weekend and getting it in. One of the key things they look for is the project shovel ready. Are you ready to build it? If you get money, is the project going forward? And this seeker resolution today is very, very important, because we're saying in the application, seeker will be done by February 17th, which is fantastic. The project is shovel ready. All you have to do is pull a demo permit and go to the city planning commission for 1 meeting, and we'll be done. We are working with a developer and a national company that is interested in the site. We do not have a signed deal yet, but we are putting everything in place, and they are supporting the grant application. This is very significant. And including in the grant application, a commitment letter of their interest, their strong interest in the sites. We're not there yet, but it would be a wonderful addition, both for the downtown, the thousands of new apartments downtown, plus the neighborhood on State and Vale and Albany Street and Hamilton Hill. Very exciting project. So the county's in the lead on this. I think that the county led for their leadership on this. It's a very exciting project, and we're hoping to move forward.
It's interesting, the city members of the legislature were at Schenectady United Neighborhoods on Tuesday night to do a presentation on what does the county do. They're like, we don't know what you guys do, we'd like to know more. One of the neighborhood leader from Hamilton Hill, one of her questions, what's going on with the supermarket, and this is, the question I've been dealing with for almost all of my 20 years on the legislature, and I really feel like the approach we're taking now, we've been stymied at different times, but if we didn't have a site that was large enough, or the economics of retail grocery, the margins are so thin, and the operating cost in the city is higher than it is in some other areas. And so one of our goals with our American Rescue Plan funding that the county is putting into this is to be able to bring down the overhead cost for this, so that a retailer could operate at a margin where they can stay in business. So very excited that we have the entity that we have on the string, but if it's not them, we have in place a plan in the option resolution that the legislature already passed to go forward with an RFP process. So we'll open it up, and we'll see who wants to participate with us.
I've heard some various scuttlebutt about a group of people wanting to do a food co-op in the city of Schenectady. Would they be a potential person to make a proposal if this thing fell through?
Different projects.
It's a different
We,
project.
and
Okay.
we, Sarah May and myself and the other members of the legislature also set aside ARPA funding for electric city co-op. I'm a little lost on where that project is right now, but I know they're moving forward. They're diligent. They are sincere. They want to do it. I think they're just trying to get all their I's dotted and all their T's crossed.
I guess the Honest Weight Coalition, that's having some problems, so there might be a different outcome.
Well,
Well, part of the issue with the co-op structure, I think, is there's so many voices and opinions.
for $50, you're a member and you get a vote. So
It's like anything.
And I know in some conversations, they're challenged, some of the locations, they won't even have parking, there's a challenge for them. Because, I know they.
Actually, the
They have a good-
site
they have a good
is
site
fine.
that would work for them.
It's like, do we have a sense of how many spots would be included in the first site?
I knew that number, but I don't want to commit because I probably am wrong.
Parking, you're talking about?
Mm.
Parking spots.
Yeah.
It's-
Well over.
It's a 2.14 acre
I
site.
believe it's about 90 spaces.
Yeah.
I wanted to say somewhere
We don't need a
around-
variance from the city, so it's 5 per 1,000, so it's fine. Yeah, it's almost 100 spaces, because it's about 20,000.
5 per thousand or 6 per thousand?
The city's 5.
The city's fine.
And we really view these two projects as very compatible because the food co-op is going to reach a market that is different than conventional.
That was kind of where I was going
supermarket
with
retail.
If we end up with both of
Exactly.
these projects,
So,
is one gonna defeat the other? and
No.
then, split the market? It's two
No.
different animals.
They're
Okay.
very, very
Good to
different.
know.
The type of retailers we're looking for are comfortable in an urban environment. Well, I don't want to go too far because then all of a sudden we'll take 20 questions.
Yeah.
But we feel like we have a good prospect and a solid backup. And what we're asking for today is to have the IDA become the lead agency for the secret process. Back to Ray's point, we want to have a site that is, here it is, it's not only shovel ready, you can go, and approvals are in place.
Now, would the county give the person an option to buy, or would it be a strictly a leasing thing, or is that up in the air?
That's to be determined, we'll work through it, yeah.
And if, God forbid, none of this comes to pass, the investment we've made in getting the site ready is there.
We have
for
other
some
people
other
interested
tenant.
in the
Yeah,
site.
well, we do, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Doesn't seem to be much of a downside with the whole idea.
We don't feel as though it is, and we haven't gotten any real negative pushback in the community, and the neighborhood association Tuesday night was pretty happy to hear that. I always hedge and say, well, we're working on it, I can't promise you a particular date, but we're working through it, so. It's been a particular interest of mine for a long time, so I feel like we're closer with this than we have been on almost any other initiative we've tried for retail food. Center City.
It's part of a larger strategy, all these, and Rotterdam, which Echo was instrumental in, is crushing it. You look out his window and see that every day. We did the Target in Glenville when that was just a barren area, and they only did a handful of stores that year.
Kmart Plaza.
Exactly. We've done, the improvements at the co-op are just amazing, Sarah May, you were, and Jamie played a key role. And of course, the ShopRite in Niskuna, which, we led the effort on. So it's important to have availability of grocery and part of the bigger strategy.
The unfortunate thing and I don't want to belabor this, but the unfortunate thing in the retail food industry is that it is consolidated into larger and larger stores. And that leaves a lot of neighborhoods behind. And not everybody, there still are constituents, they may not be your customers anymore, but there are constituents and they have some real challenges in terms of getting transportation to what's
And
available.
on that point, there is still an attraction for that smaller market. There really is.
It's easier to get in and out,
Yeah.
You know, so-
And if you just wanted, some milk and,
Well, we've Sarah May and I have we've been on some field trips. We've seen what you can do with 20,000 square feet, and you'd be impressed with You can have a full service offering.
Isn't that what all this is? In Rotterdam?
I believe it's in that range, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a question.
Great example.
I mean, it particularly is good in an urban setting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other business?
I'd just like to introduce Jack Warner, who's our intern from Union College, doing a great job working with David at the land bank.
Welcome, Jack.
And I also wanted to say we're very excited today. The state sends out leads from companies that are looking for space, usually industrial development projects. I tend to overemphasize the past, but it's important to make the contrast. When I was with the State Economic Development Agency, when we sent these leads out, Schenectady never responded as a county for 20 years. The opportunities went out and nothing came back. We are very aggressive in responding to these opportunities. It's a little like buying a ticket in the lottery. You gotta be in it to win it. But we submitted building in Rotterdam, the new building at the Rotterdam Corporate Park, 17. And today we'll be hosting a publicly traded alternative energy manufacturer that's in 3 different states. Danielle and I are doing the tour today, so wish us luck. Nice new fresh coat of snow helps everything look nice. But we
Second
are,
best thing to a bright sunny day.
we wish we had sun, but it's a 500 job prospect in the manufacturing sector. So wish us luck, but I think it's important to know that we're out there competing, and we're among just a handful of sites that they're looking at. Small world, the CEO of this company worked for GE Schenectady for a while, went to Clarkson. We've digested all their bios and look forward to a good visit today. So we're out there up the plate swinging away and working to bring more companies to
Go get
Schenectady. Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing nothing else, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you.